Let's look at our last AI agent framework, which is AutoGPT. AutoGPT is an experimental open source application based on OpenAI's GPT-4 model. It is designed to automate the process of generating human like text by chaining together reasoning tasks. AutoGPT is capable of autonomously performing tasks that typically require multiple prompts and user inputs, thus streamlining processes that would otherwise require human oversight. Some of the key features of AutoGPT include autonomous task management. AutoGPT allows users to define high level goals and it autonomously breaks down these goals into smaller tasks, executes them, and iterates until the goals are met. It can autonomously prompt itself for additional information or perform actions without requiring continuous human input. Internet access for research. It has the ability to search the web, gather information, and analyze it to complete tasks. This feature is especially useful for tasks that require up to date or broad research. Multi agent collaboration. AutoGPT can deploy multiple agents with specialized roles. These agents can collaborate and exchange information to solve complex tasks similar to multi agent frameworks like AutoGen. Memory and file management. AutoGPT can create, read, and modify files autonomously, making it suitable for tasks that involve managing large datasets of information or gathering code and documents. Plugins and API integration. AutoGPT can integrate with various APIs and plugins to extend its functionality, such as automating tasks related to e commerce, marketing, or project management. Some of the use cases and limitations of AutoGPT include for use cases we have business automation. AutoGPT can automate tasks like customer service inquiries, market research, and content generation. Programming. In programming, it can assist with code generation, debugging, and even executing scripts autonomously. Personal assistance. Users can set up personal tasks like managing calendars, setting reminders, or handling emails without continuous supervision. Some of the limitations include complex task understanding. While AutoGPT can handle many tasks autonomously, it may struggle with high complex tasks that require nuanced human judgment or creative decision making. Cost. Since AutoGPT operates through the GPT-4 API, continuous use can become expensive due to API call costs, especially for long running processes. Now, to implement AutoGPT, you can follow these steps. AutoGPT is a Python application that leverages GPT-4 to autonomously complete tasks based on user designed goals, defined goals. So here are what steps we'll follow. First, we'll install the prerequisites, set up the OpenAI API keys if you have not done it in the previous steps. Then we'll configure AutoGPT settings. Then we'll run AutoGPT. Then we'll define goals and tasks. Then we'll do supervised AutoGPT. Then we'll enhance AutoGPT with plugins. And finally, we will monitor and adjust. So these are the steps that you would follow. So let's jump in and see how we can do this. Step 1, install prerequisites. AutoGPT requires Python 3.10 plus and you need to set up API access to OpenAI's GPT models. So first, we'll clone the AutoGPT repository. So for that, you can go to terminal or you can open the browser and go to AutoGPT git. I'm going to just type that and that should give me the AutoGPT git. I can go here and just download that. So I've downloaded that on my desktop here. I can open it here where I can see the entire project right here. So to install it, you can directly download from this particular place, and also all the entire steps to build and use the agents are described here in this particular video. You can play this and you can probably see how to go ahead and install and run then an auto GPT, and it kind of gives you a sample here. So that's the entire thing that I'll follow. But that's the first step, installing prerequisites. Next, set up the open API AI API keys. We have done this a couple of times in the previous framework, so you can go through that and look at that if you want to, how to add it to your environment variables. Next step is configuring AutoGPT settings. Now you can configure AutoGPT with environment variables and tweak its behavior. Some of the key settings in environment file include the continuous mode or memory backend mode. That's what you can add. Continuous mode is AutoGPT can run continuously without human approval, whereas memory backend is choose a memory backend like Redis, Pinecone, or local memory for long-term memory. Next is step 4. Now, if you want to run AutoGPT, you just say Python -m AutoGPT and it will run it based on the environment that you've set in the previous steps. And that brings us to step number 5, where you define goals and tasks. Now, when AutoGPT starts, it will prompt you to define a name for the AI, which example you say research bot, and then a role that explains what the AI is supposed to do. And then you can set up to 5 goals that the AI will work towards autonomously. For example, research the latest trends in AI, write a summary report, create a PowerPoint presentation, so it all does it for you. Which brings us to step 6, which is supervise AutoGPT, which is an optional step. But in default mode, AutoGPT will periodically ask for confirmation before proceeding with certain actions. If you want AutoGPT to run autonomously without manual intervention, you can enable the continuous mode by adding it into your environment variables when prompted. Now that brings us to step 7, which is enhance AutoGPT with plugins. Now, AutoGPT supports various plugins and tools for additional functionality. For example, Pinecone for memory storage, useful if you want to use your AI to remember context over long periods. Lemon Labs is another one for text to speech, which enables the AI to speak its responses. You can configure these plugins in your environment files. And finally, step 8, which is monitor and adjust, where AutoGPT logs its progress and outputs tasks as it completes them. You can monitor and adjust its settings or restart the process with new goals as necessary. So we can go back to this, where you can probably see everything that you need to do to set up AutoGPT at this particular URL. You can just search for AutoGPT and you'll get this as the first result in Google. So I hope this works, and if you have any questions, let me know in comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.